What is up, guys? Let's go ahead and do a sound check really quick, and let's go ahead and jump into everything. We have a ton to talk about. I apologize for missing the past couple of days. I didn't prepare enough, and I have family in town, but love it when family visits. That's why I'm sunburned. We went and did some jet skis today, so that was a ton of fun. But holy cow, we have a ton of news to cover. Um, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive into everything that we can in this amount of time. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into everything that we have planned. I want to talk about this Lucid deal that we have. Let me go ahead and do an audio check really quick. I'm going to do a quick audio check. All right. Wait. Let's do an audio check. Wait. Checking. Okay, cool. Good. All right. We're good on audio. Sweet. All right. Well, welcome back. Let's go ahead and what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna compile. There's a lot of Lucid stuff to talk about. There's also some interviews with the CEO that I want to cover, and there's just a ton of videos that I want to make with you guys. So if you guys have the time, thank you for stopping by on a Saturday. I know it's crazy. Good to see you, Sammy. So yeah, let's go ahead and buckle up. We're gonna go ahead and cover what I know about this Lucid deal. We're gonna go ahead and put a bunch of stuff together. And yeah, let's have a good time. So let me go ahead and start up by sharing my screen with you guys. And we may want to start with listening to an interview with the CEO really quick. So let me go ahead and pull up this interview with the CEO, and then we can go from there. Cool. Thank you guys for stopping by on a Saturday. Much appreciated. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, and here, okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. Um, nice. I just want to see if there's anything else. I just want to see if I bookmarked a couple of interviews, and I just want to see if I'm missing any. If this is the only interview that he did, let me just double check. Let me get past this ad really quick, and then we'll go ahead and dive this interview with the CEO. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hopping into the live stream here on a Saturday. You guys rock. Okay, so this looks like it's the same. Is it 7? Yeah, 7 minutes. Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and listen to this interview with the CEO, and then we'll go ahead and recap it. And if there's anything to interject, then I will go ahead and pop in. So yeah, sorry, my hair is still kind of crazy, and I'm a little sunburned. But all right, here we go. Let me go ahead and share my tab with you guys. Okay, audio. Okay, sweet. Let me go ahead and make this full screen. I have not listened to this interview yet, so if you hear me clickety, I'm gonna mute my mic unless I interject. But I'll be typing to take notes, and we'll do a full summary at the end. So, okay, let me see. Okay, I'll start a video like normal with you guys, and then I will give my summary. I wonder how do you, let me know if you guys watched my video. I did a summary last time. Let me know. Did you like it when I gave the summary and then did the video? I guess this time we can do the video and then the summary, and we'll see which video performs better. So we'll dive into it. Yeah, I'll try that. We'll do a test and we'll see which one performs better, and then whichever one of those videos works better is what we'll go ahead and go with. Sweet. Okay, let me go ahead and get this started. Let me get my notepad up really quick. Whoops, not that one. Text. Okay. Lucid CEO interview. Okay. Sweet. Appreciate you, Sammy. Okay. Holy cow, the CEO of Lucid after the one. Hold on. What was it? Holy cow, the CEO of Lucid went on. Holy cow, the CEO of Lucid just went on to Bloomberg Television and did an interview with Ed Ludlow. Now, if you remember a few days ago, he just did an interview with Ed Ludlow, and in just a few seconds, he referred back to that interview, and he was like winking at some partnerships. So I'm super excited to dive into this interview. We're going to dive into this interview. We're going to listen to it, and then I'll interject if I have any comments, and then I'll go ahead and give a summary with my thoughts at the end. Let's go ahead and dive into it.
How did this happen? And the why on timing is really interesting.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me back. We just talked 2 days ago. But, I alluded to it already when we spoke that there are bigger discussion about partnerships beyond technology licensing. And we've been working on this for quite some time. And so it's not something that just developed in the last couple of weeks. We have started that already some time ago. And for us, it's a super important step to open a new addressable market, because up until now, we have not participated in the new developing robotaxi space, which we are now stepping into with this.
The details are critically important. I poured over the 8K. So this is a guaranteed, contractually binding purchase of 20,000 Gravity SUVs over 6 years. Have you agreed a per unit cost with Uber? Because what I'm trying to help the market understand, your shares are up significantly, is that over time, this is a deal in excess of $1.5 billion, something like that in revenue.
Well, I cannot disclose the numbers. We have agreed to a purchasing price, definitely. And yes, it is guaranteed for 20,000 vehicles. That's correct, over the course of 6 years.
So as you mentioned, this is guaranteed. It's guaranteed revenue as well. Can you give us a sense how much you might expect to book on this? And if not, at what time period you'll be able to figure that out?
Well, as I said, I cannot disclose any details of the numbers of the pricing and that. I think this will come actually never out because we're not planning to talk about it. But you will see this then once we start delivering. It is in the press release that we are planning to start this service end of next year, and then that also will then start the deliveries of our vehicles, and then we will start seeing the booking of those vehicles and the revenue.
So under this arrangement, Mark, Uber invests in both you and Nuro. You build the Gravities, Nuro adds the technology, and Uber just buys the vehicles and deploys them as robo-taxis on their platform. Who makes the money, and what's the timeline for commercialization here?
Well, clearly everybody makes money. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. Yeah? We're not a nonprofit organization. But the timeline here is really, again, end of 2026 is when we start in a US city. Still has to be defined. That it will be worked out mainly by Uber. But then in 2027, we will ramp up for the first 3 years. And then beyond that, then additional sales and deployments in the following 3 years.
Mark, the most common question I got for you from the audience when I said you were coming back onto the program was why the Gravity and not the Air?
Yeah.
And is the Gravity a better robo-taxi than it is a consumer vehicle?
No, it can do both. And I mean, I want to be clear, and maybe I mentioned that in our last talk. We're doing the Gravity because the Gravity is available. We want to bring it to market fast together with Nuro and with Uber. But we're also working on successors, not only for the Gravity, but also for this program. So eventually there will be other vehicles deployed on the platform. The Gravity is just something that we have, and it's already, we build it in a way that it can easily developed and deployed as a robotaxi. That's why we're starting with the Gravity. But it's not going to be the end solution for us and for Uber.
Mark, the skeptic looks at the 5-year chart of the share price, the historic production numbers and the installed capacity of the plant, and says, okay, this is 20,000 units over 6 years that you sell directly to Uber. Do they get first right or first dibs on anything that comes off the Gravity production line over consumers who have pre-orders? How are you going to manage that allocation against consumer sales?
Yeah, so we have enough capacity to accommodate both. So we don't think that we will have that problem. I mean, I spoke about it right now. We are still in ramping up and we have some issues to overcome. By the time there are no issues anymore with capacity, I'm very certain about that. So I don't foresee any shortages, and then having to decide, are we giving it to Uber or are we giving it to customers? We will be able to satisfy both areas. And we're working very hard to make this happen, not only then back in end of next year, but much faster than that.
Mark, the $300 million investment from Uber is in large part to update assembly lines to accommodate the integration of the technology from Nuro. Is that the majority of it? I mean, does that take care of most of that cost, that $300 million?
In fact, it's not updated at the assembly line. There's not much to update on the assembly line. It is actually a participation of the development costs that we have to do together with Nuro in order to make this happen. We have already prototypes driving in Las Vegas in confined areas, but there's still development to do in order to really make it, in a production vehicle. That's where what the money is for, a portion of that, not everything. It's a portion of that. On the assembly line, the good thing is that our assembly lines are flexible, and the addition that we have to do for that particular vehicle are not that big. So we don't have to spend a lot of money in additional capex.
What is the rest of it for then? And what's interesting, I mean, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is the share reaction. If it's based on today's news and not the reverse stock split, what does it signal, do you think? This is Uber saying a vote of confidence in Lucid. It's Lucid getting a lifeline. How would you phrase it?
No, it's not a lifeline. It's for us. It's really, and for me, it's really a vote of confidence. Absolutely, and for us, that is the start of a long-term partnership. Uber went at a great length at an evaluation of other vehicles that are out there. That we're not the only one, and made the decision to do it together with Lucid because of our advanced EV technology, and simply because we can provide range, we can provide uptime better than anybody else. So I definitely see this as a vote of confidence above all, and we are very grateful for that partnership with Uber.
The first piece of news that hit the wire this morning was a 1-to-10 reverse stock split. As a student of the markets, historically, that mechanism is used to avoid delisting. What was your motivation?
Well, delisting happens when you are under $1.
Correct.
I don't think we were anywhere close to below $1. So that was not the reason. It's actually more a technical thing. The main reason is that when you are on a certain level or below a certain level, certain institutional investors cannot invest into your stock. In order to open that investment market for us, that's why we did this, and also to reduce volatility. This is the only reason. For us, it's more a technical thing that we're implementing in order to make it easier for us also to participate in the stock market.
The secure network for
Oh, sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead. Wow. All right, let's go ahead. Sorry about that. Yeah, my mic was muted. Can you guys hear me now? Oops. All right, let's see. Okay, my mic should be on now. Yeah, let's do a take 2. Okay, whoops. Yeah, dang it. I was on a roll there too. Okay, all right, everybody, let's take a deep breath. Everybody, let's take a deep breath. Okay, we're doing good. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and restart. Okay, it'll be better. Every time I have to redo a video, it's always better, so it's okay. Okay. Holy cow. So this was a great interview from the CEO of Lucid. His name is Mark. Let's try this. This was a great interview from the interim CEO of Lucid. His name is Mark Winterhoff. We're going to call him Mark for this video. But he went ahead and he had an interview with Lucid about 2 days ago. Wait, sorry about that. Okay. Now I'm all in my head. Let's restart. Okay. Let's go ahead and recap everything we just learned from this interview. There's some pretty big deals that we learned, and I want to go ahead and dive into a few opinions of my own. Welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into everything we just learned. So just 2 days ago, the interim CEO of Lucid, that is because their previous CEO stepped down, and we haven't heard much of him since. But this new interim CEO, I'm kind of liking him. His name is Mark. And just 2 days ago, he sat down with Bloomberg and did an interview at the Panasonic battery opening. And he told Ed Ludlow, who's the host of this Bloomberg show, he's like, hey, I alluded to like the viewers a few days ago that we're going to be doing partnerships. He's like, I didn't say, he's like, you guys are probably expecting partnerships of tech, like we've talked about. This is a partnership outside of tech. He's like, this is a brand new addressable market for us. So he said they're stepping into the robotaxi ring right now. And I mean, this is a huge thing. You have this AI bubble going on over here, but just in the past few weeks, you're starting to see this new bubble kind of forming of robotaxis. You have Waymo, you have Lucid. Now, you have Waymo, Tesla, and now you have Lucid wanting to step into the ring. And you have a lot of these startups kind of popping up. And we'll talk about some of the who are the bigger winners here in just a few minutes. But this interim CEO, Mark, said, hey, like this is a brand new addressable market for us. We're pretty new to this, but we're ready to step into the ring. So let's go ahead and talk about what this means. So I'm going to do a full breakdown of the whole deal, but I kind of want to do a breakdown of this interview and I'll kind of go over the deal, but I'll do a separate video because there's a little bit more to this deal than meets the eye. So they are contractually guaranteeing with Uber that Uber will purchase 20,000 Gravity SUVs over 6 years. Now, the interim CEO, Mark, said that they're not going to disclose the cost per unit. Now, in my fundamental analysis I did a few days ago, the average selling price per car I used was around $71,000. And hopefully it's around that number. I mean, Uber's probably getting a small discount, 1, because it's Uber, and 2, because it's guaranteed, and 3, because they're going to be buying in bulk. So they're probably getting a discount. I don't know how big of a discount it'll be off market rates. He said that number probably won't ever be public. So I'll be super curious to see if that ever gets leaked. But one of the female panelists said like, hey, like if this is market rates, around $1.5 billion in guaranteed revenue, which is fantastic. $1.5 billion over, let's see, let me do the math really quick. 1.5 billion, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 over 6 years. That's one too many zeros. Let's see. That is 250 million a year. Now let's do 250 million. Let's see, because they are producing. Let's do 250 million divided by 4. That's $6.2 million a quarter, which this will help Lucid substantially. I'm super curious to see where they go with this. It will help them a little bit. I think that's why you've had the stock react the way that it did. So he said he hopes that he doesn't think that the purchase price will ever become public. I hope it does, so I can kind of like adjust my spreadsheets. But we'll talk about who's making money. So Ed Ludlow's like, where's the money? Because what Uber's going to do, here's the kind of the overall structure. Uber buys the cars from Lucid. Uber is also investing into Nuro. I believe this is kind of where I need to do a little bit more research on the deal, which I'll do a full breakdown here in a bit. But Nuro is going to give the tech to Lucid. They're going to assemble the cars, and Uber is going to provide the platform. This is in the end of 2026. These robo-taxis will be in select U.S. cities. He says they haven't identified them yet. And in 2027, they're going to ramp these up. And one of the questions that Ed Ludlow, the host, asked the Mark, the interim CEO, was like, why did you do the Gravity and not the sedan? Honestly, I think the Gravities are going to be better anyways. It's fantastic marketing for Lucid. And when you're getting into an Uber, getting into a sedan, it's a little tricky. You're having to get in and out, and it's lower to the ground. but Waymo's kind of figured it out. The SUV platform is awesome. And you even have the Model Ys for Tesla. So the sedans for robotaxis may not be ideal. People may want SUVs because if you have big luggage or if you have a group of 5 people, it may, or I guess 4 people, it doesn't really matter. But SUVs are kind of a little bit more of a luxurious experience in terms of a sedan. I always prefer Ubers in a SUV than a sedan. Sorry, I may have said that backwards. But he's like, both of our cars can do both, but the Gravity is available, and we wanted to bring it to market first, probably because Lucid's margins are way better on the SUV than the sedan. The sedans are selling what that you can buy these used at a substantial discount, but these SUVs are going to be pretty premium. So it's great advertising for Lucid, in my opinion, because you're going to see these Gravities driving all over, and people are going to get in the Uber and they're like, wow, I really enjoyed that. I want to buy my own sedan SUV like this, and go to lucidmotors.com to buy your Gravity, I guess, whatever. So he said that they've been working on this partnership for a while, and they kind of have built this Gravity with the forethought of having this built for a robotaxi, which was interesting. Now, Ed Ludlow kind of brought up the elephant in the room. He said, hey, the skeptics are going to look back over the last 6 years and look at your stock price and be like, what happened? Like, your deliveries haven't been great and your stock price has been pummeled. And he's like, how do customers know that they can trust that they're not going to get shafted? Because you have a ton of pre-orders for the Gravity, and now you have this new customer, Uber. Who are you going to prioritize deliveries to? And he's like, hey, we'll have the capacity to provide both, which I believe it'll be interesting to see. I'll keep up with some of the Lucid customers to see if that's true, if they're seeing it to see delays. So make sure to subscribe, stay tuned for that. But on top of that 20,000 Gravity guarantee, sorry, it took me a second, 20,000 Gravity guarantee over 6 years, Uber's also investing, from what I understand, $300 million. Uber's investing $300 million into Lucid, and this will help integrate the tech onto the Gravities. But he says they don't need to update the assembly lines that much, and they already have prototypes in Las Vegas. To me, this is more understanding how to, this was a little confusing. Maybe we'll listen to it again, this segment. But he said this is the money that they're going to use to combine. I think there's a little bit more R&D that goes on to doing this at scale. So I don't know why he didn't say that they needed to upgrade the assembly lines, because it sounds like there's still some puzzle pieces that they need to figure out how to do it at scale. He's like, our assembly lines are flexible. And he said this money wasn't a lifeline. And he's like, this is just a vote of confidence for what we're doing at Lucid. He said our cars have range, we have good uptime. So, all right, point Lucid. I mean, their stock price was up 38% at that time of that video. So pretty substantial. And they were down a little bit on this. That was announced, I believe, Thursday morning. In Lucid on Friday. Let's go ahead and do a quick look. And again, I'll try to do another breakdown of the whole deal. Lucid was only down 2%. So they're still at $3. They're still up 32% this week, which is a pretty big deal. And the other thing that was announced was the 1-to-10 reverse stock split. Now, Ed Ludlow taking the devil's advocate, so I was like, hey, most people do reverse stock split to avoid being delisted. And Lucid was floating right before that announcement. Lucid was floating around $2 a share. And if you go below $1 a share, I believe you start getting put on like a probation list to be delisted. And a company of that size, they're still at that time, they were a $7 billion company. Now they're a $9.2 billion company. It was either a $6 or $7 billion company. Anyways, right around there. You don't really want that size of company delisted, because listing a company is very expensive. You have to go through audits. You have to go through due diligence. You have to go through exchange fees. You have to go through attorney fees. Listing a company is very, very expensive. So I think that did factor into a little bit, because what they're going to do is a reverse stock split. So the stock price is going to go up, and they're going to reduce the number of shares outstanding. The value of the shares won't change. If I'm explaining this correctly, the value of the shares won't change, but the share price is what's going to change. So if you own 10 shares at $1, now you'll have one share at $10. I think I explained that correctly. So I'll double check my math on that. So don't hold me to that, but I believe that's what's going to happen. And he said the main reason that they're doing this is for institutional buying pressure, hopefully like a buying upside, because he said once your share price is in the $1 to $2 range, the institutions don't really buy it despite the company. I don't know what rules are behind that. Maybe it's just because they don't want I truly don't know because everything's like electronic record. So it's not like they have to carry like a stack of shares. So I don't really know the reason. I believe him. The institutional, but maybe it's the risk of being delisted. Institutional institutions don't want to have that risk. That could be it possibly. So if they have a higher share price, then institutions can invest, which the hope is that Lucid can get more buying pressure. But I think I don't know. Either way, I think it was kind of an interesting thing to sneak in on that day of the Uber announcement. So it's not a big deal. I honestly think it'll help the optics of Lucid, and everybody's going to think that somebody that's not watching Lucid on a daily basis is going to think that their shares, like that the shares of Lucid, and they're going to, I don't know. It could create some momentum. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be paying attention to. I do have a very small position in Lucid at the moment. Nothing too crazy. I have one contract, one option contract, which I bought like 2 weeks ago, expiring January 2026. And then I just have like, I just a few shares in a separate brokerage account. This is not a main investment of mine, just enough to kind of pay attention to it and just to kind of see what it does. But I think that contract is up. My contract's up quite a bit. I'll do a separate video on that and keep you guys updated, but subscribe for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Let me know if you like the summaries at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video when it comes to these interviews, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Cool. All right, sweet. Let me go ahead and read some of you guys' comments really quick here. All right. Looks like some of you guys are holding. Great. Okay. Let me scroll to the top and I'll read some of your guys' comments. Yep. So sorry about that. My microphone was muted. I forgot about that. Dangerous. So I got to do that again. Okay. What's worse than the reverse stock split is the shorting going on now. The reverse split is to combat that. There are hedge funds who love to invest but won't because they don't buy penny stocks. Yep, that makes sense. I believe that, and I think that's kind of what he hinted to. They said Lucid will incorporate the neurotech eventually from the factory, so it's possible every Lucid will be capable of being a robotaxi just like Tesla. Okay, cool. I think it's a little far out, but I think that'd be cool. I like Rivian, but Lucid has a higher short-term upside. Rivian already has, or Rivian is already at $14 unless Rivian has some great news. I don't see them going up like Lucid can. But the thing is, at a snap of the fingers, maybe Nuro is working on a partnership with Lucid and Rivian is also working with maybe Nuro is working with Rivian and Uber is going to announce a deal with Rivian sometime soon. In this robotaxi boom, I would not be surprised. A lot of people are wanting to get into this robotaxi, and I guarantee Rivian won't want to be left out of it. So I would expect more of these announcements over time. Not with no specific company for sure, but I would expect some of these in mind. So I don't think Rivian wants to be counted out. Sweet. Okay, cool. That was a good recap. And now I want to kind of break down this whole deal. We can go ahead and read the 8K. I appreciate you guys watching here. So that was the interview. Now I want to go ahead and break down the deal. So I'll post that interview later this evening, but let's go ahead and I want to research this deal that we have here. So I want to start from when I started saving things. Okay. Let me go ahead and bring up what I have here. Okay. So it's funny. We literally talked about Dream Drive Pro the night before, and then you had Lucid. Give me one quick second, really quick here. I'm going to, for those of, give me one quick second, really quick. One sec. Okay, give me one quick second. I don't have very many shares at all. My main investment is the contract. I don't invest very heavily into Lucid at the moment. Okay. Let me see here. Give me one quick second. Okay, sorry about that. I had something I had to take care of really quick. Okay, cool. Okay, I want to keep diving into because there's going to be more to this deal than people realize. Okay. Let me see. Okay, give me one quick second. Sorry, I had a work thing come up really quick I need to solve. Give me 2 seconds and we'll dive into the rest of this deal. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, I got that done. So now we should be good. Let me do one quick check on something really quick, and then I should be good to go. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Okay, let's keep jumping into this. Okay, so I thought that interview was really good, and then I want to do. Okay. Okay. We might read their 8K. I kind of want to pull up the 8K. I'll go ahead and share my screen 1 second with you guys. Let's go ahead and read their 8K. So this was published 2 days ago. Let's just see if we can find anything juicy in here that we don't already know. Okay, you guys should be able to see this now. So this is their 8K filing. Whenever there's like a big news or a breaking news report, you have to file an 8K with the SEC. Anything that the shareholders need to know. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, on July 16th, Uber entered into a vehicle partnership under which Uber and its designed fleet operators have agreed to purchase a minimum of 20,000 vehicles that have been modified to include certain autonomous driving hardware and other features over a 6-year period following the start of production, which have targeted to occur in late 2026. Uber and Lucid will collaborate with Nuro as the provider of autonomous driving software to develop and deploy a fleet of autonomous vehicles to be used as robotaxis on the Uber platform. Good. Okay. So this isn't anything that we don't know yet, but let's keep reading. As provided under the VPA, which we learned here, it means Vehicle Production Agreement. As provided in the VPA, the minimum quantity guarantee is conditioned on Lucid's ability to meet certain volume and other requirements and specifications with respect to Lucid Gravity Plus vehicles, including continued production of the Lucid-based Gravity vehicles meeting certain quantity, threshold, timely fulfillments of orders of Lucid Gravity Plus vehicles. The VPA also contains customary representations, warranties, and covenants. So there's like separate. They're probably deadlines they have to meet and stuff like that. So that's good. On July 16th, Lucid and a subsidiary of Uber entered into a subscription agreement in which Lucid agreed to issue the SMB agreed to purchase a private placement common stock 1 share equal to $300 million in cash dividend. Wow. Okay, this is kind of complicated. Let me do one quick thing. I want to see if I can understand it. Okay. The private placement is expected to close in the third calendar quarter. Okay. Okay. So they're basically getting $300 million in stock that they can okay, I'm doing a quick what's the point if Waymo takes over? Uber will lose with Lucid. It's not going to be the point of it. It's not going to be like just the fact that Google's not like Chrome isn't the only browser. You have Safari, you have Internet Explorer. It's not going to be first. It's way too early there's not even a real fully deployed. I mean, Waymo's the closest to fully deployed, but I mean, you're seeing how fast Uber's catching up and how fast sorry, not Uber, Tesla's trying to catch up. So it's not a winner takes all. And until somebody's in every capital of this, and yeah, I think Tesla's going to go wide fast based off of I'll do a video about this. I have a couple of videos I want to make, and I want to do a video about the expansion of the robotaxi network, the robotaxi war. Okay, so here's how the money flows in this deal. SMB, Uber subsidiary, will give Lucid $300 million in cash. Lucid issues a new share of their common stock to SMB. The exact number of shares depends on Lucid's stock price, calculated as the average daily volume over the next 30 days. Okay, so here I'll share this with you guys really quick, just because like the private placements are. So here's how the money's gonna flow for this deal. Okay, SMB is gonna. So I just did it. Obviously, I just did a Claude here, so nothing too crazy. But I just wanted to break this deal down to help me understand it better. So Uber subsidiary is giving Lucid $300 million in cash. Lucid is going to give SMB stock in return. Now, the exact number of shares just depends on the average daily price over the next 30 days. Lucid is going to take this cash to engineer the Gravity Plus, the vehicles, and to cover corporate expenses. The trade-off is SMB owner will take a stake in Lucid but can't sell for 18 months. Lucid gets $300 million in immediate cash to fund their operations. It's like SMB is buying a piece of Lucid's business for $300 million, and Lucid uses that money to build a new line of cars. SMB becomes a part owner, but has to hold on to their ownership for at least 18 months before they can sell it to somebody else. Okay, so this is just a way of exchanging cash for shares. Fair enough. I want to keep so that's what this paragraph right here means. This is just kind of how the money's flowing. SMB is giving Uber Lucid money. Lucid is using that money to develop, and SMB has to hold the shares for 18 months. Fair enough. But it's also going to corporate expenses, so it gives Lucid a little bit of an influx in cash, and their earnings are coming up. So I'm excited to see how this will affect their earnings coming up. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see if there's any. There's the CFO signed. Okay, there's not a ton of other information, I don't think. Okay. Okay, so that's the deal. Wait, where do they talk about the 10 for 1? Do they have that? Honorary. Oh, so they did a couple. Okay, I want to open that one. Sorry, let me share this screen. So they did a couple of 8Ks. They did this 8K and that 8K. So let's read these. This is probably the 10 for 1. Oh, this is the vote. The stockholders approval of an amendment to a reverse stock split of the company's Class A common stock. You can vote online. Where does it say? Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. This is the vote. Inviting stockholders to vote. Okay. Proposal 1. Approval of an amendment to the company's third amended and restated certificate of incorporation to effect a reverse stock split of the company's Class A common stock. The board recommends that you vote on your shares for proposal number 1. Who's entitled to the vote? To be able to vote, you must have been a stock shareholder on July 2025. The record date for determination of stockholders entitled to notice and vote at a special meeting as of record date. Okay. So then the rest is just formalities of how to vote. Okay, good. So now we know a little bit more about the deal. We know how the money's gonna flow. The other thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and take a look at Nuro. Nuro. Let's just see. Nuro. Okay. Okay, we watched that. Okay, let's watch this video. So this is from Nuro, and this was posted 2 days ago. So let's go ahead and watch this. Hopefully you guys get sound. So this is the company that Lucid will be. This is the hardware and maybe software. Maybe we'll learn if it's hardware and software or just hardware. Well, obviously there's going to be some software component. But let's go ahead and watch this and see how these are going to mesh together.
What really excites us and what gets us out of bed in the morning is figuring out how can we take everything that we've done and all the experience that we have as a company and work with our partners to build incredible products that they can bring to market or that we can together bring to market.
So this is obviously the Gravity SUV. You have this, and this is also important to note. Lucid has LiDAR. Just throwing that out there. Tesla has vision only. So it's important to note, Nuro, back in the days of COVID, they were specializing in these little robots right here. These were their autonomous delivery notes for like DoorDash or medical supplies. This is what Lucid was. This is what Nuro was specializing in, from what I can tell. I don't believe Nuro is a public company. Nuro stock. Yeah, no. Is Nuro going to IPO? Okay, they're privately held. Yeah, they updated their website. So we'll go ahead and take a look at their website here in just a second. And we're probably going to watch this video again. I just kind of want to see it first. Oh, let me go ahead and fix this. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll stop interrupting. We'll go ahead and finish this video, and then I'll give you guys my summary. Cool.
In 5 weeks, we went from a stock vehicle to an autonomous vehicle,
So 5 weeks. That's how fast this whole game can change. They could put this on the Rivian. 5 weeks, they could have something on the streets. That's important to know. Sorry, I got excited because that proves the point that everybody's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a robotaxi race." The question is, how fast can they go from 5 weeks to 4 weeks to 3 weeks to 2 weeks to 1 day? You know, let's see. Let's keep watching.
just rode in it today, and it was incredibly impressive. I think because we've been able to integrate at such a tight level with the Lucid teams, we're able to get really smooth controls. We're able to interface at the right level with the vehicle so that the Nuro driver can get the most.
This looks like Arizona.
Incredibly impressive piece of hardware. And the ride that I just took proved just how nice the result is.
I want to watch this video.
We're on the cusp of AI agents doing everything we can, often better than we can, in the digital world. It's incredible. We started Nuro to bring that same magic to the physical world. Now, for the last 8 years, we've been very hard at work, drawing from and expanding upon cutting-edge research to build groundbreaking physical AI that'll transform our physical lives. Now, we began with a massive opportunity, last mile delivery. And in the process, we built a fully autonomous AI driver. It too is incredible. And it can do a lot more than delivery. We're now taking the Nuro driver and applying it to personal transportation. All roads, all rides. To get there, we're partnering with auto and mobility companies to safely bring our tech to personal vehicles, ride-hailing services, and commercial fleets, and lots of them, so that we can help save hundreds of thousands of lives, millions of tons of emissions, and billions of hours of our time. And to make the best of life, the moments that make life magical, more accessible to every single person. Because that's what can happen when incredible tech steps out of the box we built it for. It can become transformative, become meaningful, become magical for all of us.
Wow, this company seems very well put together. Huge fan of that president. He said that he is very well spoken and he's pivoted this company appropriately. He's gone from COVID delivery, like, because I watched a video a few years ago. They were doing touchless delivery to now, like, that was their thing. They're really good at kind of going with the thing, but staying true to who they are. They were doing touchless delivery autonomously. Then he's like, this is 10 months ago. They were talking about AI branching from touchless delivery to personal vehicles. Boom, to just 2 days ago, this announcement to partnering with Lucid. Brilliant company, very smart CEO. I wish this company was public because I would probably invest into them. Very smart company. And I think that these are the companies, it's not going to be automakers. I mean, Tesla's been doing FSD autopilot for 10 years. These are the companies that are going to compete. And I hope they IPO because I would be excited to invest into them. They aren't public yet, but very good company. I wonder if they have any private placements. Let's see. Nuro. Let's take a look at their website and see if they have an investor page, which, I mean, they probably do. Let's take a look at their company because this company is going to be very important for Lucid and the rollout of it. Okay, let me dive into this really quick. Let's look at their company. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Saturday, by the way. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the comments and support. Cheers to that. A little bit of Mountain Dew. Cheers. It tastes good on a Saturday. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nuro's website. This company is fascinating. I like them. Okay, so they're Nuro plus times Uber, game-changing collaboration. Is this the one we just watched? This is the video we just watched. Very smart, very smooth website. I mean, it's a website. Okay, it's probably just an out-of-the-box website. But let's see. I want to see what else they have here. So ready to license, proven level 4 autonomy, 5+ years of driverless deployments, over 1.4 million autonomous roads with 0 at-fault incidents. Uber, NVIDIA, Lucid, Google, ARM. The question is, who else is going to get on this list? Are we going to see Rivian on this list? This company is going to do great, in my opinion. Nuro's $106 million raise backs from its shift from robots to deliveries. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on this company. This is going to be a good company. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch this company grow now. I hope this company goes public one day. I mean, that's usually the goal of companies like this. Invest. I'm just gonna Google invest in. Let's see. I want to see how to invest. I don't see how you're just having like all of these, but they should have at least some public filings. Let me look on SEC.gov really quick. SEC.gov. Let me see here. Nuro. What is their real company name? It's Nuro what? Nuro. Nuro. What is their Nuro Inc. Okay, let's Nuro Inc. Do they not even have SEC filings? Wow. Have they never done a private placement? How are they raising money? Okay, now I'm curious how they're raising money. Let's see. I want to go to this press release. Let's see. Okay, come on. Okay, let me share this tab. Okay, all right. This is obnoxious. Come on, get out of the way. Okay. After a few months of heavy marketing efforts and large-scale technology demos across the US, Nuro has secured $106 million in fresh funding to help scale its autonomous driving vehicle driving technology and advanced commercial partnerships. The Series E round brings Nuro's total funding to $2.2 billion and its valuation to $6 billion. That's a drop from the $8.6 billion post. It's a drop. Oh my gosh. That's a drop from the $8.6 billion post-money valuation Nuro secured after its $600 million Series D in 2021, but most startup valuations have come down from the highest. Okay, so wow, they're almost worth more than Lucid. That's crazy, because Lucid is worth $9 billion now. They were worth more than Lucid last week. Crazy. This is a good article. After several rounds of layoffs and putting its manufacturing plans on hold, Nuro decided to focus instead on beefing out its self-driving technology, which has been continuously testing in California and Texas, and now Arizona. That video looked like it was in Arizona, the one we watched. So while Nuro isn't sharing, strategic investors have joined the round. Very interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a recap of everything we've learned. Okay, I want this video and I want this video. I want to just pull this up on YouTube if we can. Let me just pull that up on YouTube again really quick. And then we'll go ahead and do a recap of this deal that I'll post. I want to watch this video from Bloomberg while I pull stuff up because I haven't seen it yet. So let's watch this and I'll listen to it while I pull up some of this stuff.
Gravity SUVs. You guys provide a part of the
Oh, it's the
technology
CEO of
stack.
Nuro. Okay, let's see what we learn.
Uber basically pays for everything. They've invested $300 million into
You know what?
Lucid.
Let's see if this guy has a Twitter. I will DM him right now and see if he wants to do an interview. Nuro Inc. Okay, they do have a Twitter. Let me follow. I follow them on Twitter. Okay, let me share my screen. So I follow them on Twitter. They don't post a ton, but this is definitely a company I'll be watching now. Okay, they don't have a huge social media, but their video production is good. I will say that. Okay, who is the CEO? Who is the CEO of Nuro? Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the guy in the video. Who is he? Okay, let's see if they show it on the interview. We haven't seen this video yet. Let me go ahead and share this back. Let's share this tab back with you guys.
Several $100 million into you. What happens next?
Yeah, so Ed, first, thanks for having me. Great to see you. Great to be here. I think you've got it. So Lucid is integrating
Dave Ferguson. Let me look here. Let's listen to it.
Nuro's driver hardware component, so the sensing compute, into their vehicles on the production line. Those vehicles are then shipped to Uber. Uber owns and operates them, and Nuro driver's software provides the driving capability for those vehicles on the Uber network.
What does Uber get out of its investment in you? In fact, let's just be honest about it. Lucid's is clear, $300 million. How much is Uber putting into you, and what are they getting in return in terms of IP or guaranteed access to something?
I think Uber is investing in Nuro in a standard equity stake. And so I
Okay.
think that they're very, very excited about this partnership and this program. And they want to make sure that all of the parties are very vested in the success of that program. And so they want to make sure that they also have some ownership and frankly some upside in Nuro, given how deeply we're going to be partnering to build this and the scale that we're going to be embarking on together.
How much are they investing?
Well, we carefully worded it as
Why though? Why
several
not
hundred
just
millions.
say?
Yeah.
Why not just give us a number?
Yeah. Well, I think some of that is within our control and some of that is outside of our control.
All right.
I think we would not mind so much giving you the number. I think there's more sensitivity in other calls.
Oh, we'll phone Dara and Uber and ask. You have a very close relationship with NVIDIA. You know,
that's what
essentially
let's talk about. Let's talk
building
about NVIDIA.
on top of what
There's a lot to
NVIDIA
talk about,
is
guys.
And just explain it, because it seems like a bit of an unlock for you guys. And this deal kind of involves NVIDIA to a certain extent as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of what we believe differentiates Nuro is that we have a dramatically lower cost hardware set of sensors and compute that powers all of the vehicles that we create as self-driving vehicles. And so NVIDIA plays a very large part of that because they provide for us the SoC that powers all of the compute. So all of the compute on this robotaxi platform is going to be based on
That's
NVIDIA's
the Thor chipset.
The Thor SoC. That's right. And for us, for Nuro, that has dramatically simplified our overall compute, because before we had that system, we had to have FPGAs that dealt with the raw sensor data. We had to have CPUs, we had to have GPUs, we had to have safety computers. We've been able to effectively collapse all of that into the Thor SoC. So it's a simplification in the complexity as well as a significant reduction in cost.
You've been, I understand, testing a Lucid vehicle, but on a closed circuit to make sure the tech stack works. What's the evolution of that? Like, the plan, as I understand it, is Gravity goes into production late 2026, and 20,000 of them are due to Uber over a 6-year period. How do you get to public roads?
Yeah, so we as a company, Neuro's been doing fully driverless operation on public roads for over 5 years now. So we have a lot of experience with what it takes to validate our tech and to get it out onto those roads safely. With the Lucid platform, it's obviously a new vehicle platform for us to work with. We got the first one going, our first prototype, in something like 7 weeks, which is unheard of for us and we think the industry. So we've been moving very, very quickly.
So Lucid's providing the sensor suite?
The sensor suite is Nuro driver hardware. So it's a sensor suite that Nuro has designed, although all of it is automotive grade
off the shelf
sensing. So Nuro has basically provided a design template for that, and Lucid is going to integrate that. For the prototype vehicles where we're doing small scale integration, for the 20,000 fleet, it's going to be integrated directly into the production line.
You were focused on delivery, not moving humans. Have you just done with that now?
So about 2 years ago, we shifted our go-to-market.
Very smart. Very smart.
A fully vertically integrated delivery as a service business with our own custom vehicles. Two things changed about 2 years ago. The first is that the cost of capital dramatically increased. And while we still today like that business model, it requires a huge amount of capital. So it no longer made sense for us to take on.
Because now they don't have to build the car.
They
don't have to build the device.
That we had built was so heavily based on AI that we had learned how to drive like an expert human driver. So we could expand it beyond goods to also passenger transportation. So we made the call about 2 years ago to stop doing goods and to license the tech across a range of applications.
Dave, just very quick, 10 seconds. Do you really believe that Lucid can manufacture all these to the deadline you've outlined?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Wow. That's cool.
So what does this deal say about Uber?
There's so much to cover. Okay, I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna run a poll. I need you guys to help me. Should I do a separate video on what / who Nuro Inc. is, or should we include it our Lucid overview? Include. Okay, I'm writing a poll for you guys. Include in one vid. Separate vids. Okay. Why can't I? Oh, wait. Why can't I do a poll? Why can't I do a poll? Should I do a SEP bid? Why can't I do? Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's see. You guys vote. Do you guys want? Should I do? I want to do a huge. Here's what I want to do. I want to do a huge breakdown of this Lucid deal, what it means, include the 10-to-1 stock split. I also want to do a breakdown of who and what is Nuro and how are they going to be how are they going to be involved in this. I just put the poll up, so go ahead and vote if you want. Should I do one video? Should I do separate videos? I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to vote, and then we're going to go ahead and do a breakdown. Wow. Okay, this is fun. I love this. Man, there's so much covered. And then I want to do a robotaxi video in general. It might be a long video. Separate videos. Okay, 75%. Okay, I'll give you guys a couple more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and let me organize my stuff. Okay, I want to see if there's anything else that I missed here. Okay. Okay. All right. It looks like we're gonna do it in we're Nuro. So it's called Nuro. I keep saying Nero. It's called Nuro. Okay, cool. It looks like you guys voted. So let's go ahead and do a full breakdown. Let me go ahead and organize my tabs here, and we'll do a full breakdown. If you haven't voted yet, go ahead and vote on the YouTube poll that I just put up. Okay, let me go ahead and organize everything. Okay. Just, okay, I can close that. Okay, so this is the Smart CEO one. This is Nero. This is the one. Let me. I don't think I'm still sharing that screen. Am I? Yeah, no, I'm not. I wasn't, right? I don't think I was. So make sure. Okay. Okay, cool. So, okay. So I want to do the Nero video. I want to do this video too. This is gonna be a long breakdown, guys. So I hope you guys buckle up and share the breakdown when I make it and post it with your friends. Okay. So there's that video. Then Nuro. I want to cover this article. We're going to cover this. They're going to using NVIDIA Thor. This is their 8K. Okay. And then I want to get the other. I want to get the other video too. Lucid Nuro. Okay. Okay, so we'll get this video, and then we'll get that video. Okay. Full breakdown. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Thank you guys for voting. We'll go ahead and do it in one video. Okay. All right. Here we go. So Okay. Trying to think where to start. So let me just write this out really quick. Recap. Deal recap. $20,000 over 6 years. Okay. Trying to think how I want to recap this. A breakdown of the deal. So it's 1.5 billion in revenue plus 300 million. So this will bring Lucid, I believe it's starting in 2020 at the end of 2026. So once this deal starts, let me go and break this down. So it's 1.5 billion. So that's million billion divided by how many years was it? 20,000. Oh, it's 6 years from the start of production. So 6 times 4 is 24. So thank you, Sammy. So let's go ahead and divide that by 24 quarters. So this will bring Lucid around $62 million a quarter. And let me go ahead and pull up my spreadsheet. Let me pull up my spreadsheet really quick. Okay. Did I not title my own spreadsheet? Okay. So their current financials, 62 million. So their Q1 revenue is 235 million. So 62 divided by 235. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. 62 million 500,000. 62,500,000 divided by, let's do this. Sorry, I just want to get this. Divided by that. Why did that not work? Oh, is it because I didn't put a dollar sign? Sorry, I just want to see what percentage. Let me just do it quick. 235. Okay, I promise this number will pay off. $62.5. 62. Okay. All right. I promise this will pay off, and then we'll go ahead and do a recap. I just wanted to wow, so this is going to bump Lucid's quarterly revenue like 26%. Wow. Once they get started. So we're not going to see it initially. Okay. So it's increasing their revenue 26%. Got it. Okay, good to know. 26% revenue increase. Okay, let's go ahead and break this down. Okay. Okay, you guys ready? Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Holy cow, we've just spent the past few minutes on a live stream breaking down this Lucid, Nuro, and Uber deal. There's a lot to go over, so let's go ahead and dive into it. First, I want to go over this Ed Ludlow thread. Ed Ludlow has interviewed the interim CEO Lucid of multiple times this past week, which has been awesome. He also interviewed the Nuro CEO, and I want to go ahead and dive into those interviews, but I also want to go ahead into what this could mean for Lucid, what does this deal involve, and everything in between. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Let's go ahead and get started. So in this thread, we could have talked about this, but I think he puts it visually a lot better. Uber's commitment to buy 20,000 gravities is a minimum purchase order and contractual. It's also separate from the $300 million investment Uber's making, which Lucid will use to upgrade its assembly line and to integrate Nuro's hardware. Okay, so let's break this down for a second. So 20,000 Gravity SUVs is completely separate from the 300 million. Now, per their 8K, here's how the flow of funds is going to work. A subsidiary of Uber is giving Lucid $300 million in exchange for shares. Those shares have to be held for 18 months. Now, what happens with those shares, I don't exactly know, but that's the current flow of funds. So to kind of rehash that, SMB, which is Uber's subsidiary, is giving Lucid $300 million in cash. Lucid is then giving SMB issues of common stock. This is the exact number of shares depends on Lucid's stock price, calculated as the average daily price over the 30 trading days. Lucid takes this 300 million and now can upgrade the factory lines, corporate expenses, and get everything ready for this partnership. The trade-off is the SMB gets this ownership stake in Lucid that they cannot sell for 18 months, and Lucid gets $300 million in immediate cash to fund their operations. So yeah, that's kind of how the flow of funds works, and it's really important to differentiate that these are two separate deals. Okay, let's keep going through this because he makes a couple of interesting points. Nuro hardware will get integrated in-house at Lucid. This is after they get started to ramp up this production. We'll get into the interviews here in just a second why I said that, but they will integrate it at Lucid. And let's say the average cost per unit on the Gravity to Uber is $75,000. We don't know this number. This is an assumption by Ed Ludlow. The CEO said him. So the CEO himself said that he doesn't know if this number, if this number will ever be public. So the $20,000 minimum order commitment would be $1.5 billion over 6 years. Okay, so me enjoying fundamental analysis, I took that $1.5 billion over 6 years. What's 6 times 4? 4 quarters per year. It's 24. That would give Lucid $62 million, $62,500,000 per quarter in additional revenue. Now, what this means is that's an additional, I believe, 26%. That's a 26% increase to Lucid's revenue quarter over quarter when this deal starts. I believe it's starting late 2026, and it'll slowly ramp. But it should average out to be around 26%, a 26% increase in Lucid's revenue currently, and according to their current Q1 financials. I don't believe anybody has said that number yet, so I'll probably quote tweet that. Very interesting, though. Okay, so that is that. I thought that was important to get out of the way. Now let's talk about what is and who is Nuro. Like, I've never heard of this company before, right? Very interesting. So Nuro is a company that is. I'm gonna take a quick pause really quick. Sorry, I just want to double check something. Just need to double check something. Okay. Let me restart. I know it's fine. It should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to pause before we continued. Let me go. I don't know why that changed. Let me do this. Window. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, let's continue. Wait, no, not that. Sorry, technical difficulty. Share screen, tap. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to dive into what is Nuro and what is this company that's partnering with Uber and Lucid, and they kind of came out of nowhere. I've actually watched a few of their interviews with their CEO, and I'll go ahead and show them to you, and I think he's brilliant for the way he's pivoted. So Nuro is getting into passenger vehicle autonomy. Now, this is the great race to robotaxi. As you can see, they've done about 5 years and a little over 1 million miles of, you can see here, 1.4 million miles of autonomous driving with zero at-fault incidents. And they've done this for 5+ years. And they've shifted from the COVID era touchless, driverless kind of vehicles to now wanting to get more into AI in passenger. I think this is brilliant by the CEO. He says some pretty astonishing numbers that I want to talk to you guys about. So they're using the NVIDIA Thor chip. So NVIDIA just, it continues to win. It's crazy. I think you had crypto and NVIDIA was winning. Now you have AI, NVIDIA was winning. And now you have this robotaxi thing and NVIDIA is still winning. So Nuro is this incredible company that is supplying the hardware. Now the CEO, we'll listen to this interview, but the CEO himself was saying that the cost of getting this driverless these driverless these touchless cars right here, the ones that my mouse is over, the cost of these were really expensive, probably because they were either having to partner with somebody to have them to ship to them, or they were having to build themselves. That's expensive. Now, from what I understand, they're just supplying this little hardware. Toyota can build the car. They'll just give Toyota the little thing now, and you can have an autonomous car. Brilliant. So let's go ahead and continue on to why this company is super important, why I think they're relatively impressive. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So I want to dive in. Let's go ahead and look at this. Nuro released this video 2 days ago. So right after Lucid announced their partnership, Nuro dropped this video, and it's a really cool video. It's only a minute long. Let's go ahead and watch it.
For Nuro, what really excites us and what gets us out of bed in the morning is figuring out how can we take everything that we've done and all the experience that we have as a company and work with our partners to build incredible products.
So obviously that was their testing facility
that they can bring to market, or that we can together bring to market.
This is the Gravity SUV, and this is their little, I don't know what they call it, but it's going to be like their little LiDAR. It's going to be the hardware that that allows for the autonomy. And something really interesting to note is that Lucid currently does build their cars with, at least their Airs, with forward-facing LiDAR, or I imagine their Gravity do as well, but we should double check that. Let's keep watching. So these are the cars that they were building during COVID. That he said that they were super expensive. They were doing the touchless delivery, which was at the time brilliant, and now they've stepped into more providing the hardware, which is even smarter because it's a bigger addressable market, and it's probably much cheaper. So their margins are probably so much better.
In 5 weeks, we went from a stock vehicle to an autonomous vehicle. And
that's insane. He said in 5 weeks, they went from stock to autonomous. That's why this robotaxi race is going to go fast, like a wildfire, because in 5 weeks, you can take a Rivian, for example, which hasn't announced any partnership with any kind of self-driving platform. You take a Rivian SUV, put one of these on, 5 weeks. If I'm a Rivian executive, I'm like, boom, we should, like, Lucid stock ran 30-40%. Why don't we just announce that we're going to start doing this? Let's cut a deal. Let's meet with Uber. Like, let's do this ASAP. This shifts things dramatically. And I would not be surprised if a company like Uber, or if a company like Toyota or somebody announces another deal with Nuro, or another company. I don't know. Nuro is positioning themselves extremely well positioning themselves extremely well to be able to implement these. Let's keep watching.
I just rode in it today, and it was incredibly impressive. I think because we've been able to integrate at such a tight level with the Lucid teams, we're able to get really smooth controls. We're able to interface at the right level with the vehicle so that the Nuro driver can get the most out of this incredibly impressive piece of hardware. And the ride that I just took proved just how nice the result is.
So I thought that video was really good. I'm glad that they dropped it. Their production team did a great job because it gets me it gets me excited to see a Nuro. Like I didn't know about this company before. Okay, now let's dive into a little bit more of the company Nuro and why I'm so optimistic about this company in general. It seems like they're very well run. Let's go ahead and watch this video. It's just another minute-long video. Their marketing teams, I mean, their video production team is very good. So this video is from 10 months ago. The one we just watched was from 2 days ago. This video is from 10 months ago. You can kind of see like the AI theme in it. But this is their president that you've been hearing the voice in the last video, and you'll see in the next interview. This is the president of Nuro, and why I think he's doing a very good job at positioning the company from trend to trend. So they went from touchless to now they went like AI driverless robotaxi.
We're on the cusp of AI agents doing everything we can, often better than we can in the digital world. It's incredible. Often better than we can in the digital world. It's incredible. We started Nuro to bring that same magic to the physical world. Now, for the last 8 years, we've been very hard at work, drawing from and expanding upon cutting-edge research to build groundbreaking physical AI. Physical AI that'll transform our physical lives. Now, we began with a massive opportunity, last mile delivery, and in the process, we built a fully autonomous AI driver. It too is incredible. And it can do a lot more than delivery. We're now taking the Nuro driver and applying it to personal transportation. All roads, all rides. To get there, we're partnering with auto and mobility companies to safely bring our tech to personal vehicles, ride-hailing services, and commercial fleets, and lots of them, so that we can help save hundreds of thousands of lives, millions of tons of emissions, and billions of hours of our time. And to make the best of life, the moments that make life magical, more accessible to every single person. Because that's what can happen when incredible tech steps out of the box we built it for. It can become transformative, become meaningful, become magical for all of us.
So again, very sharp CEO. I'm very optimistic that I'm very excited. Now let's do one more quick interview. This is with Bloomberg. I did not know. I haven't seen anybody else cover this video. It's a very interesting video of the Nuro president talking about this Lucid partnership, talking with Ed Ludlow, who gives him some good questions. Let's go ahead and listen.
Gravity SUVs. You guys provide a part of the technology stack. Uber basically pays for everything. They've invested $300 million into Lucid, several $100 million into you. What happens next?
Yeah, so Ed, first, thanks for having me. Great to see you. Great to be here. I think you've got it. So Lucid is integrating Nuro's driver hardware component, so the sense and compute, into their vehicles on the production line. Those vehicles are then shipped to Uber. Uber owns and operates them, and Nuro driver's software provides the driving capability for those vehicles on the Uber network.
What does Uber get out of its investment in you? In fact, let's just be honest about it. Lucid's is clear, 300 million. How much is Uber putting into you, and what are they getting in return in terms of IP or guaranteed access to something?
I think Uber is investing in Nuro in a standard equity stake. And so I think that they're very, very excited about this partnership and this program, and they want to make sure that all of the parties are very vested in the success of that program. And so they want to make sure that they also have some ownership and frankly some upside in Nuro, given how deeply we're going to be partnering to build this and the scale that we're going to be embarking on together.
How much are they investing?
Well, we carefully worded it as
Why though? Why
several
not
hundred
just
millions.
say?
Yeah.
Why not just give us a number?
Yeah. Well, I think some of that is within our control and some of that is outside of our control.
Right.
I think we would not mind so much giving you the number. I think
That's very interesting to me that they won't disclose how much they invested. Very interesting. He wants to say how much, but he can't. I wonder if because I wonder if everybody would ask what the valuation was, because we'll talk about the valuation of Nuro here in just a second. I know this is like a Lucid focused video, but this is going to be very, very important for Lucid. So let's keep watching.
We'll phone Dara and Uber and ask. You have a very close relationship with NVIDIA. Essentially building on top of what NVIDIA offers end to end. Just explain it, because it seems like a bit of an unlock for you guys. And this deal kind of involves NVIDIA to a certain extent as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of what we believe differentiates Nuro is that we have a dramatically lower cost hardware set of sensors and compute that powers all of the vehicles that we create as self-driving vehicles. And so NVIDIA plays a very large part of that, because they provide for us the SoC that powers all of the compute. So all of the compute on this robotaxi platform is going to be based on
That's
NVIDIA's
the Thor chipset.
The Thor SoC, that's right. And for us, for Nuro, that has dramatically simplified our overall compute, because before we had that system, we had to have FPGAs that dealt with the raw sensor data. We had to have CPUs, we had to have GPUs, we had to have safety computers.
For those of you who don't know, Thor SoC is obviously we can talk about this a little bit later, but it's the NVIDIA stuff like he's talking about. This SoC is the system on a chip. So SoC, system on a chip.
All of that into the Thor SoC. So it's a simplification in the complexity, as well as a significant reduction in cost.
You've been, I understand, testing a Lucid vehicle, but on a closed circuit to make sure the tech stack works. What's the evolution of that? Like, the plan, as I understand it, is Gravity goes into production late 2026, and 20,000 of them are due to Uber over a 6-year period. How do you get to public roads?
Yeah, so we, as a company, Neuro's been doing fully driverless operation on public roads for over 5 years now. So we have a lot of experience with what it takes to validate our tech and to get it out onto those roads safely. With the Lucid platform, it's obviously a new vehicle platform for us to work with. We got the first one going, our first prototype, in something like 7 weeks, which is unheard of for us, and we think the industry. So we've been moving very, very quickly.
I can't overstate how crazy that number is. 7 weeks. In the video, he either said 5 or 7, the very first video we watched, but 7 weeks to get a video from stock car to autonomous car. Absolutely crazy. This robotaxi wildfire, this bubble's going to continue to grow, in my opinion.
So Lucid's providing the sensor suite.
The sensor suite is Nuro driver hardware. So it's a sensor suite that Nuro has designed, although all of it is automotive grade
off the shelf
sensing. So Nuro has basically provided a design template for that, and Lucid is going to integrate that. For the prototype vehicles, where we're doing small scale integration, for the 20,000 fleet, it's going to be integrated directly into the production line.
You were focused on delivery, not moving humans. Have you just done with that now?
So about 2 years ago, we shifted our go-to-market. We used to be building a fully vertically integrated delivery as a service business with our own custom vehicles. 2 things changed about 2 years ago. The first is that the cost of capital dramatically increased. And while we still today like that business model, it requires a huge amount of capital. So it no longer made sense for us to take on all of that. The second thing that changed was the tech that we had built was so heavily based on AI that we had learned how to drive like an expert human driver. So we could expand it beyond goods to also passenger transportation. So we made the call about 2 years ago to stop doing goods and to license the tech across a range of applications.
Dave, just very quick, 10 seconds. Do you really believe that Lucid can manufacture all these to the deadline you've outlined?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Sorry, my mic was totally muted. So let's go ahead. Dang it. Okay. Sorry about that. I hate when that happens. I absolutely love those interviews, and it helped me really understand who Nuro is, why they're partnering with Lucid, and kind of how this is going to scale and how this is going to ramp. It also helped me understand the structure of this deal really, really well. Ed Ludlow did a really good job at breaking it down from Lucid's point of view, from Nuro's point of view, from NVIDIA's point of view, from Uber's point of view. He did a really good job. I want to do one more quick segment on who Nuro is and why it's important, and why I think this company is relatively impressive. So after this, we'll go ahead and wrap up. But I appreciate you guys staying with me. After months of hefty marketing efforts and large-scale technology demos across the United States, Nuro has secured 106 million in fresh funding to help scale its autonomous driving technology in advanced commercial partnerships. The Series E round brings Nuro's total funding raised to 2.2 billion, and its valuation is 6 billion. Guys, the reason that this is kind of crazy is because if you look at Lucid's valuation just a few weeks ago, I'll just go ahead and share this tab. Lucid is now at a $9 billion valuation, and it's ran 30% this week. So before that, they were at like a $6 billion. So Nuro was worth just as much as Lucid was last week. Originally, they did have an $8.6 billion post-money valuation after Nuro secured a $600 million investment in its Series D round, which we could read more about, but I'm not going to kind of go into the whole history of Nuro. But most startup valuations have come down, of course. So nonetheless, Nuro it's a big company, and it was worth just as much as Lucid. But I think this company is a great partnership for Lucid. I don't think they have any I haven't seen anything about exclusivity, so they could partner with other companies, Toyota, Rivian. They could partner with, I don't know, they could partner with anybody. So I think this is a really good spot I think this is great for Uber. I think it's great for Lucid. I think it's great for Nuro. We don't know how much money was invested into Nuro, but nonetheless, I'm still excited for this partnership, and I'm excited for Lucid's revenue because it's going to be a 26% increase to revenue and over the 6 years on a per quarter basis as of their Q1 financials. And yeah, overall, I'm super excited about it. You saw Lucid stock go absolutely bonkers when this was announced. Just to kind of disclose what I have, I just have a few shares of Lucid, but I also have one option. I have a one call contract for January 2026. And so I purchased that contract. It was sometime a week and a half ago. I had no idea about any of this. And so my contract absolutely rocketed. It's been great. And if you want me to dive more into kind of like my option strategies, just kind of let me know what you guys think. I also have like an open door call that's up 900%. It's just one, but I like to play one contract at a time because I don't love to like gamble a lot of money. I just kind of like to see if my analysis and predictions are going to be correct. So let me know if you guys want me to do more of that stuff. But the NVIDIA Thor POC is what it's called. It's a huge deal. NVIDIA keeps winning. They keep dominating. NVIDIA is just such a huge company. Are they still at $4 trillion? I'm just curious to double check if NVIDIA is still at $4 trillion. Yep, they're a $4.2 trillion company. Absolutely insane. So the 10-to-1 stock split, the CEO said like, hey, this isn't to be delisted. We weren't too worried about that because we weren't under $1. It's to help with institutional buying. So is this going to be the beginning of momentum for Lucid? I don't know. I'm very excited to see. Subscribe if you want to keep going on the journey with me. I'm super excited about all of this. I think this will be a really big deal for Nuro. I also did a fundamental analysis on Lucid's path to profitability. So if you want to see that, I'll link to that video at the end of this video. But yeah, I'm super excited for all three of these companies. I think that I'll make a video probably tomorrow night on just kind of the robotaxi wildfire. It'll include Tesla in it. But overall, this is just a super exciting integration for Lucid, for just kind of the EV community in general. Here's kind of your post from NVIDIA right here. I'll share with you guys. Let me pull this up really quick. The future of autonomous mobility is here and accelerated by NVIDIA Drive. Excited to see Nuro's global robotaxi program develop with Uber and Lucid Motors, powered by the Nuro Driver level 4 autonomy system running on NVIDIA Drive AGX Thor. So it's super cool. I'm super excited for it. Thumbnail right there. I'll probably take that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Who is Nuro gonna partner with next? I think this company is absolutely fascinating. I think it's a great partnership for Lucid. Just my opinion. This video shouldn't be construed as any kind of personal personal advice to buy or sell any type of security. This video is just for informational and entertainment purposes only. Make sure you read the SEC documents and all that good stuff for the filings. But I just want to see if there's anything else here. Other than that, I think this is great. I'm super excited for the future. We're going to head into earnings season here soon. But other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed for watching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for staying live with me on a Saturday afternoon. I really appreciate it. I'll go ahead and make these videos. I'll publish these videos separately so that you guys can share them with friends or wherever you guys want to. I had a ton of fun covering this stuff with you guys. If you guys enjoy it, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like or something. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. A shout out to EVs of America for staying with me for almost the entire stream. Sammy was great as well. Trend, thank you for commenting. You guys were awesome on here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and commenting. Boss USA, thank you. Thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoy kind of me talk, Let's Go Dodgers, thank you. If you guys enjoy me talking about kind of like my positioning and options and kind of my strategies around that, let me know and I'd be happy to kind of talk about it. Maybe we can do like separate live streams for that. But other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Thanks for watching. Take care.